Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello, boys and girls, and this is Sam E. Hare Jr., commonly called Uncle Sam, your teacher on learning, understanding, and appreciating the Liberian national songs. In our last lesson, we again listened to the correct music or tune of the national anthem for it to stick deep in our hearts and minds. Of course, we did what we know we should do whenever we hear or sing the national anthem. Stand upright, raise your right hand, or place the right hand on your left, but absolutely no moving around, remember? We do this in respect of and in honor of our national anthem. We stated in the last lesson that the lyrics, the text, the words of the Liberian national anthem was written by Liberia's third president, Daniel B. Warner, and the music was composed by Olmsted Luka, a Liberian pianist and composer. We also stated that the national anthem was adopted officially by a presidential decree on July 12, 1927. We noted that a decree is an official announcement or order issued by a ruler. In this case, we're talking about our president. We went through the words and phrases of the first verse of the national anthem, explaining some of the difficult words and phrases like all hail, Liberia hail. We said that to hail is to call to or shout at or greet or attract attention. We noted that liberty means freedom, independence, liberation. Though knew her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers, we stated that even though the name of Liberia was new at that time, her fame or reputation was green. Not the color green, but green here referred to fertility, fruitfulness, productiveness. We said when someone says the land is green, he or she is referring to it as being fertile or productive. Then we went on to the phrase, and mighty be her powers. We noted that President Warner was very hopeful and was also looking forward to the future as he wrote our national anthem. He was telling the world that although Liberia is a new nation, its name, its recognition and prominence will grow to be strong, impressive, and powerful. He also talked a little about the phrase, we'll shout the freedom of a race benighted. What did President Warner mean when he wrote, shout the freedom of a race benighted? What do we understand by the phrase, a race benighted? We noted that a race is simply a group of people. We heard about the black race or the human race. In this situation, President Warner was referring to a group of freed Negro slaves joining with a group of native Liberians of this land. That was the race that he was referring to. Benighted means being in a state of moral, intellectual, or social darkness, backwardness, uncivilized, so to speak. So a race benighted mentioned in our national anthem referred to a group of people, freed Negro slaves as well as natives of the land, who are basically in social, moral, and intellectual darkness, backward and uncivilized. So in joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we shout the freedom of a race benighted In other words, he was saying that with happiness and joy and gladness, and with all our hearts united as one, whether you are a free Negro slave or a native of the land, our hearts must unite, must come together in shouting and declaring that this race, who is considered socially, morally, and intellectually backward and uncivilized, is now free. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. We stated that it is our desire that Liberia, this happy land, this home of glorious and magnificent freedom and liberty, shall be with us forever. It was their belief that God himself had established and commanded this land of liberty called Liberia for them. So with this understanding, we together recited the first verse of the Liberian national anthem. All hail, Liberia, hail. All hail, Liberia, hail. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we'll shout the freedom of a race benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. We, of course, then close our lesson with the listening of the correct music or tune of the national anthem so that it will stick deep in our hearts and minds. We will listen to the correct music or tune of the national anthem every lesson so that it will always be in our hearts. So as we begin lesson 3, let's stand up at attention. Remember, no moving, no walking around. All those around you who are moving around or walking, tell them to stop as we're about to play the Liberian national anthem. Raise your right hand in salute or place your right hand on your left chest or breast. Remember, we are to always respect and honor our national anthem. Okay, so we are now ready to play and listen to the Liberian national anthem. Hail, Liberia, hail. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name great be, her fame and mighty be her powers. Though new her name great be her fame and mighty be her powers. And mighty be her powers. And mighty be her powers. In joy and gladness, with our hearts united, we'll shout the freedom of our race benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. A home of glorious liberty by God's command. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. In union, strong success is sure we cannot fail. With God above our eyes to prove, we will o'er all prevail. With God above our eyes to prove, we will o'er all prevail. We will o'er all prevail. We will o'er all prevail. With heart and hand, our country's cause defending, we'll meet the foe with valor unpretending. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. A home of glorious liberty by God's command. Okay, learners, you can be seated. I'm sure you have your copybook with you, you have your pen with you. So let's get started. By the end of this lesson, lesson 3, you will be able to define key words and phrases within the second verse of the national anthem. So let's begin. The second verse starts just like how the first verse started. All hail, Liberia hail. All hail, Liberia hail. In union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. As we come together, not only as free slaves and natives, but also as counties of the coastal areas, counties of the hinterland, as we join our hearts and minds together as a strong and undivided country, we are sure of success in whatever we do. We cannot fail. In union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. Then it goes on to say, with God above our rights to prove, we will or all prevail. Many times I hear people singing, we will over all prevail. Yes, it's the same thing, but it was written O''ER. We will or all prevail. The founding fathers of Liberia were Christians and very religious people who called on and depended on God for whatever they did. This is clearly shown in our national anthem. Our rights to prove. What are rights? Rights are liberties and privileges. The Constitution gives its citizens certain rights, human rights, civil liberties, like the freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of press, etc. The right to form and run a government, the right to vote and run for public office, etc. Let's bear in mind that these founding fathers were once slaves or children of former slaves. They were not citizens of the United States and had no freedom of speech, association, religion. They could not vote or participate in government, etc. The Constitution of Liberia, however, gave them these rights. It was therefore important to them that they proved, that they established and demonstrated these rights. That's why we proclaim in our national anthem, with God above, our rights to prove we will or all prevail. In other words, with God being on our side, and as we exercise these rights, freedoms, and civil liberties, we will prevail over every challenge. What is the meaning of the word prevail? To prevail means to overcome, succeed, triumph over problems or challenges. Powerful, isn't it? Let's go on. With heart and hand, our country's cause defending, will meet the foe with valor unpretending. Now, let me make a very important correction that I always hear when the national anthem is being sung. People always say, with hearts and hands, our country's... No, it is wrong. It's not hearts and hands that is incorrect. There is no plural to heart and hand. It is heart, H-E-A-R-T, and hand, H-A-N-D. One heart and one hand. Remember, the anthem is preaching oneness, unity, union. So always remember that those words are not plural, no S. With heart and hand, our country's cause defending. So as citizens, we are to defend and protect Liberia's cause, Liberia's position, Liberia's foundation, Liberia as a nation with one heart and one hand. Remember, in union strong, success is sure. Many times I hear Liberians tearing our country apart in words and deeds when we ought to be defending it. This is wrong. It should stop. It's unpatriotic and it's not nationalistic at all. You meet the foe with valor unpretending. Our foe is our enemy. Those who are against us. We will meet our enemy with valor unpretending. What is valor? Valor means courage, bravery, heroism, fearlessness, boldness. As we defend our country, we should meet the enemy with boldness, bravery, and fearlessness. Again, we sing, long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. Wow, what an anthem. So with this understanding, let's together recite the second verse of the Liberian national anthem. All hail, Liberia, hail. All hail, Liberia, hail. In union strong, success is sure, we cannot fail. With God above, our rights to prove, we will o'er all prevail. We will o'er all prevail. With heart and hand, our country's cause defending, we'll meet the foe with valor unpretending. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. To close this lesson, we will again listen to the correct music and tune of the national anthem, so it can stay deep in our hearts and minds. So let's stand up at attention. Remember, no moving around. Definitely no walking around. Tell those around you who are moving around or walking to stop as we're about to play the Liberian national anthem. We must always respect and honor our national anthem. So raise your right hand in salute or place your right hand on your left chest or breast. Okay, we are now ready to play and listen to the Liberian national anthem. Hail, Liberia, hail. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. This glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name reign be, her fame and mighty be ours. Though new her name reign be, her fame and mighty be ours. Almighty be ours. Almighty be ours. In joy and gladness with our hearts united we'll shout the freedom of our race benighted. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. A home of glorious liberty by God's command. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. Oh, hail, Liberia, hail. In union strong success is sure, we cannot fail. With God above, our rights to prove, we will o'er all prevail. With God above, our rights to prove, we will o'er all prevail. We will o'er all prevail. We will o'er all prevail. With heart and hand, our country's cause defending, we'll meet the foe with valor unpretending. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glorious liberty by God's command. A home of glorious liberty by God's command. Thank you, listeners. This has been Sam E. Hare Jr., commonly called Uncle Sam. And until we meet again to continue with this lesson, always remember that Liberia is our country and the only country that we have. So we must do all we can to honor it and be patriotic citizens. If you have any questions or concerns on this lesson, please contact Uncle Sam on 0886-510058. That's 0886-510058 or 0777-510058. 0777-510058. Follow your anti-corona instructions. Stay safe.